You can start, Amrit.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amrit Nagpal, and I'm an early years consultant, educator, trainer, an author, and a storyteller. Welcome to today's ECDF's Edu Talk. And today I'm going to be doing a session for parents. And today's session, I'm going to be talking about adventures that sharing a lot of activities that you could do at home that could spark imagination and creativity in children. Just give me a moment. And this is what we're going to be doing today. Today is all about the art of imagination in your home environment. And the objective for today's session is that how we're going to be transforming our home activities into exciting learning experiences for your children. So, before we get to what play is, let's understand what is spoken about play through all the education prominent educators. So, play, according to Froebel, is the highest expression of human development in early childhood. For it is not alone that play involves free expression of what is in a child's soul. Hence, play is very important. Similarly, Montessori, that's Mario Montessori, also tells us that play is the work of child and play is extremely important for young children to do. That's because when we play, we understand or it helps the child build confidence, feel loved. The child is in a happy space. The child is developing a number of physical skills as well as language, communication, early literacy, and many more skills. Moreover, what the child is learning is how do I care about the environment that the child is living in? How do I care about the home? It's not only developing physical skills, but also the most important thing that's happening is connecting and refining the pathways that are there in the brain. And hence, play is extremely important because that's through play where children learn to explore, discover, and play. So, all your house, everything that's there in your home, can be an adventure zone for young children through which they can learn and play. So, let's see the areas that you can develop at home. So, what you can do is transform your home into a learning playground for young children so that they can explore and discover at all the time. Let's look at the things that you can do while you are using the living room. Now, while you're in the living room, there are a number of things that you could do. Number one is you could create obstacle courses using cushions and furnitures, like you can see in the pictures, you could place the chairs and, you could have a puppet show or a story type or just an obstacle race within your home environment. That'd be so much fun. You could also use spaces like your kitchen. Kitchen could be used to do simple cooking activities and beyond cooking activities too. You could focus on so much related to math and literacy, especially related to measurement. So you can do a number of things. If you have a garden or a balcony, or anything similar, you could do wonders just by giving your child a magnifying glass. And through that magnifying glass, the child could explore all sorts of leaves and different colors of leaves, different parts of the plant, and some insects that come and sit on the plant, some ants, big ants, small ants, everything. So let's dive into some creative adventures that you could do indoor. Number one, you could plan a treasure hunt. A treasure hunt is so much fun when you're doing with children. But you always have to remember that every activity has an objective. And here, the objective of treasure hunt is helping children solve problems and enhancing their cognitive skills. So, What you could do is plan a small scavenger hunt where you could hide all the objects around the house, leave a map and give them cues and let them find it. Now, oftenly, what you if you don't want to do anything like that, you could also just play the simple game of, Mama says, just like Simon says, Mama says, go find a blue soft toy, or Mama says, go find something round, or Mama says, go find something that makes people happy. You could just name a thing, you could just add some colors to it, like go find something that's red in color or blue in color, or go find five balloons, or go find me five pencils or six pencils. So you could add in your literacy and numeracy accordingly. Now, while you're working with young children, you could plan a simple scavenger hunt game like the one that I've showed you. You could give them pictures, images of things that you want them to find out. And while they are finding out, you also need to remember that you have to put those things back where they came from. You could also do a simple outdoor treasure hunt like this, where children could sit on the swing, then climb the stairs, then slide down through a slide, then run, do like a quick run, get into the house, get out of the house, move to the sandpit. While they're moving to the sandpit, they could do froggy jumps, and from there they could do hop like a bunny and move at last to the treasure hunt. So you can plan your extensive or your short treasure hunt as per your choice or your liking. You could also do something called as the sound hunt. Now, sound hunt can be very, very, very interesting to do because it involves a lot of auditory skills. Now, when you do sound hunt, all you need to do is you need a simple piece of paper, and you can just draw a few things, or, if your child is able to read, then let them read and just let the child tick if they've heard particular sounds. So allow your children to close your eyes and let them listen if they can hear birds chirping, if they could hear a car move by, or if they could hear the sound of the aeroplane or a train or a bicycle or a lawnmower or whatever. What it could be simple thing like water or the sound of the wind. It could be anything that you like. And these are simple games that do not require any kind of investment. All they require is some time and effort from you as adults at home to occupy your children. You could do DIY, that is do it yourself obstacle course. Now, this helps build motor movement, muscle movement, and indulges children into different physical activities that children usually enjoy. You could just look at the picture. It sounds so interesting, where you can have rows of chairs and just put a plain bed cover or a bed sheet on top. You could put some Christmas lights or Diwali lights on top of that and allow children to, crawl slowly under that tunnel or crawl fast under that tunnel. Is you could just play with different kinds of movements, or and after the birthday party, you could had streamers in zigzag way, and you could allow children to move like an army personnel, where it could be fun twisting while they could balance, jump, and do these amazing activities. This is another fun activity where the child could walk, tiptoe, throw a ball into the basket, move over the cushion, and things like that. So just some fun activities that you can do at home that do not require any kind of investment. These are amazing, amazing activities for you. Here's another one. Obstacle race. You could plan star jumps, let them move across the chairs, then, let them throw a ball in a bucket, and then run again, hop again, pretend to be the bee and move like a bee, anything you like. And here's what it is. You could do a lot of storytelling with a twist. With children now, storytelling, we all know, enhances creativity and language skills. And parents love narrating children a lot of stories. Grandparents love narrating children a lot of stories. After narrating the stories, you could ask the children to, enact or role play that particular scene or particular role play. Or, if you're narrating the story of the big bad wolf, let them pretend to be the big bad wolf, or, let them pretend to be the Little Red Riding Hood. So these are some classic stories, and you can allow children to have them pretend. Even you could do the modern day classics like Pepper, Bruno, Bubbles. You could pick any of these books that you like. Now let's move to the art and craft corner. Now, art and craft corner, there is so much that you could do at home. If you are a very creative person, you could ask children to do small puzzles. You could make small puzzles for children. I've made a puzzle using the toilet paper is usually left after using a lot of toilet roll or kitchen roll. You could cut them into three and just place some pictures of different animals or birds and let them stack it vertically. So much fun for children to do that. Children enjoy such activities. Again, this is made all out of recycled art. There's nothing that you have to be investing in, or there is very basic investment here. All you have to be is creative. So also what we're trying to teach children here is to be responsible, be sustainable, and show our responsibility towards our environment and reuse and recycle things. You could use boxes, you could use shoe boxes, Amazon boxes. We have plenty of boxes that we have lying at home, cartons that keep coming day in and day out. But during Diwali, during Christmas, we have plenty of things that are usually lying. And this is one of my favorite activities to allow children to do is just give them carton boxes and just allow them to use it as a part of their play. Now, if you really want to be a creative parent, what you could do is, probably add some wings, make it like an aeroplane, or, cut out some windows and let them pretend to be the truck drivers driving, or, you could make a load car, or you could make a cement roller. You could do anything that you like with the carton boxes. And we all have plenty of carton boxes at home that, we get from our regular shopping and things like that. Homemade Play-Doh is again one of my absolute favorites, because homemade Play-Doh is the most easiest thing that we can make. All you need to do is take atta, the regular atta, wheat atta, or the atta that we make out of maida, that is the refined wheat. And we could usually add in some food color in that and allow children to use it. It's very good for their fine motor development. And all you need is flour, salt, water, and some food coloring. Now, the reason that you need to add salt, like plenty of salt, because you want this atta or the Play-Doh to last for a long time, at least for a week, and then you can wrap it with a cling film or a tight plastic wrap or a Ziploc bag, and you can just wrap it up tight and just put it in the fridge. And once you remove it out of the fridge, ensure that you've kneaded it well before you give it to the child. It's very good to develop all kinds of grips, be it your pincer grip, your palmer grip, and then move on to the tripod grip. Your children could poke in uh, the Play-Doh, or they could roll it, or they could make small round balls, or roll it or pat it down and use cutters. So kindly use this kind of vocabulary like roll it into a straight line, pat it down, poke it, or use shape sorters or shape cutters to make different shapes. So when you use this new kind of vocabulary, it also teaches children new words. And this is what we want. We not only want things to be creative, hands-on, but we also want to explore. So for exploration, you can further talk about the color, you can talk about the shapes that you can see around them, you can talk about the vocabulary that you're using, and you can make plenty of things like animals, insects, food items, shapes. You could do anything that you like. And obviously, you can recap on the concept of colors for sure. Let's get into the kitchen. There is plenty of learning that usually happens in the kitchen. And let's let's look at the learning that you could do. Yes, you can always start with simple, basic baking, because simple, basic cooking and baking helps children to do basic math and basic science, and definitely fosters a lot of patience, love, and most importantly, concentration. That's what we want our children to do, right? We want our children to focus on the task that we've given them. So you could bake cookies, muffins, brownies, and while you're baking, you use vocabulary like let's make, let's whisk, let's pour, let's knead, let's roll. So when you use such kind of vocabulary, it helps children to expand their vocabulary base. And while you're doing this, you also focus on measuring as a task. Please hand me 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon of sugar or of oil or anything that you want. You could also have recipes drawn out like this. These are simple recipes. You can easily get them on the internet. You could have a pictorial recipe with the measurements written for your child, and your child could together do these recipes. This is one of my favorites, where you actually do messy cooking or you do nature-based cooking. All you have to tell your child is, get me 7 hands full of grass, 3 spoons of water, and you mix, 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 and there you've got some grass soup. Oh my God, this is so amazing. You get these recipe cards, and children love this kind of cooking. And you can always start from nature-based cooking and then move on to simple cooking that you do in the kitchen. You can also do stick soup. Get me 8 sticks from the balcony or from the garden. Get me 4 cups of water, 2 spoonful of mud, 3 leaves, and then mix, mix, mix. And there you've got a stick soup. Wonderful. And you know what? Children love playing. They love playing with food. They love playing with art because children are usually very creative. And it's not because of creativity, it's also because that is good for their right brain. And the right brain develops way before the left brain. So it's always noticed that children are far more creative. They love listening to music, they love doing movement, they love exploring their creativity till the time they're about 3.5, 4, because that is the right time for the right brain to develop. And post their age 4 crosses, that is where the left brain starts kicking in. And that is where the left brain begins to develop. And that is where we move more towards science and math and language as a concept, because that is the correct age for them to learn and do new things. But before that, all kinds of play should only be exploring music, movement, and creativity and art, paints. So encourage children. So when you allow children to play with food, you'll also see that children inculcate more healthy eating habits. You could give them cutouts of fruits, and they could make funny faces, or they could simply make a butterfly or a penguin, and they could do so much fun using food. And why just fruits? You can try with the basic idlis. If you eat idlis at home, you could mix in a lot of food color or natural color powders, and you can give children, let them make maybe a pink idli today with beetroot color, or let them make a green idli with moringa powder. So you can do so much. You can try mixing a combination of both, and try making a sunflower with mustard seeds in the center and a yellow batter of the sunflower. And you could do so much creativity. You could also add some carrots to it. You could do amazing stuff with food and art. So let's get into some more learning items that you could do. We usually get a lot of cereals and pastas at home, whether it's penne pasta, fusilli type of pasta, or macaroni, or the bow type pasta. Nowadays, you even get pastas or fish biscuits that are shaped in the form of fish. And you could use a lot of numeracy, literacy, and life skills using that. You could allow children to do counting with their cereal, especially the Fruit Loops. And then you could discuss a lot about colors. You could do shape sorting and color sorting. So you could do plenty of things. But whenever you are doing something with your children, it is so important for you to understand that it is important that you spark curiosity in children. So it's important that you ask children necessary questions that explore the idea of problem solving and naturally nurture their curiosity and creativity during each activity. So ask children when they come back from school, what made them smile? Did they help anybody, or did somebody show them an act of kindness? Who sat with them for a meal? How did the day go by? How was your lunch like? Or what was the hardest rule for you to follow today? Which was your best story, or which was your best rhyme for today? Who sat next to you? Who's your new friend in school? How was your new teacher? So these are some questions that you should be asking your children to show more curiosity and help nurture their curiosity. Here are some tips for parents. Keep home activities very, very simple. They need not be very comprehensive and expensive. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, like no fancy stuff. Allow children to lead. So you follow your child's lead. Let the child decide whether they want to do creativity today, whether they want to do movement, whether they want to do music, or whether they just want to sing rhymes. Keep it short because children have a very short attention span. So no activity more than 5 to 7 minutes. But if you have children who are about 4.5, 5, then maybe 10 to 12 minutes is good. Please understand the power of play is extremely important, and play is the foundation of all kinds of learning because it nurtures creativity, it nurtures problem solving, and it helps develop overall curiosity in young children. Then it also helps foster a learning environment. So you really need not focus on too complex activities. Keep it simple, fun, have endless opportunities for growth and discovery at home. And believe me, as parents, you've got this. Keep your environment extremely playful and adventurous because believe me, adventure does lie at home, and children usually have so much fun being at home with their siblings or just be with their parents. So believe me, parents, with great opportunity comes great responsibility, and that is how a great responsibility comes. This is a quote that I have adopted from Spider-Man, and I truly believe in it. So let's nurture our children's futures in the best possible way. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for this session, ECDF. We will be back with more Edu Talks and we will have more fun together. Thank you so much.